Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and in today's video I am taking a look at Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. Now I love this game and I've owned it on the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and today I'm taking a look at it on the Nintendo 3DS and the PlayStation Vita. It is the follow-up to Sonic All-Stars Racing, and the transformed bit comes from, well, you'll be driving along, drive off a cliff, it'll turn into a plane, or you dive into some water and it turns into a speedboat. So that's the transformed bit, and I would call this the, well, Sega's version of Mario Kart. That's the feel I get from it. So let's compare the 3DS and the PS Vita versions. I'm going to do a straight run test here and see if there's any noticeable differences. So the 3DS seems to have a little bit of an edge over the Vita. The 3DS is already into the intro screen, sort of the intro movie. Now the Vita has started its introduction. So as you can see on the 3DS screen, Sonic has just driven off a cliff and his car has turned into a plane. So that's the transformed bit. It's just happened on the Vita screen. So I think the intros are pretty much the same. They look like they're the same video. You expect them to be. Looks as if I must have missed it on the 3DS, but on the Vita, Sonic has just turned into a speedboat and now he's speeding around. And the 3DS version has just finished the intro. We're just waiting for the Vita to catch up. There it goes. And it looks as if the Vita is actually ready to go. It does, before the 3DS. So let's just go through and see if there is much of a difference. So we press start, it says. So they've both got career mode. Oh yeah, world tour. Yeah, same thing I think. Same race. Gotta be Sonic. Okay, so we're going to pay particular attention to the graphics because the PS Vita has got far more horsepower in its graphics than the 3DS. And even if you're just looking at this intro screen to each map, you'll see that's the 3DS graphics. Pay attention to things like the trees, those legs, whatever they're from. If you then look at the Vita version, it just looks more detailed, more crisp, and there we go, there's the legs of those things. They just seem a bit more, and the trees look more like trees. Let's start off with some 3DS gameplay. So this is me playing the 3DS version. You use the circle pad to move or to drive. Oops, and I drift straight off. You get a good sense of speed. It might be the sort of lower console of the two, but you certainly don't feel it. Do you have to use the circle pad? Yes, D-pad doesn't work for this. I'm trying not to turn it, but I do have a habit of moving my handheld consoles while I'm using them. And you do get a good sense of speed, just because it's a lower console. Doesn't really seem to show it in the gameplay, but paying particular attention to the graphics themselves, those trees look a little bit cut down. A little textureless maybe. It's as if they've had to make some cuts somewhere, and it seems to be in the graphics. So that is the 3DS version. Like I said, it plays very well. It's extremely fast. It's a joy to play even on the 3DS. Right, I'm going to stop playing that now and move over to the PS Vita. So this is me playing on the PS Vita. It's and as you can see, instantly you notice a difference in the graphics. Everything is a lot smoother, crisper. It looks more like a home console than it does a portable. Even down to the fact that Sonic's car there just looks a lot more detailed. There's more shadowing. Those trees look superb. I even think you get more of a sense of speed from the Vita version than you do the 3DS. Yeah, you certainly do. Now, oddly enough, you can use the D-pad on the Vita version, but obviously I like to use the little analog stick. Ow. So that is Sonic Racing Transformed on the Vita. You can probably pay a bit more attention to what's going on in the background because I'm driving at the minute. But that's the two versions of the game compared. So you've got the 3DS version versus the PlayStation Vita version. Both are fantastic versions of the game. Don't get me wrong. But I think in terms of graphics and speed, the PS Vita just owns it. And you do expect it because the graphics power in the Vita is just phenomenal compared to the 3DS. But that's not to say that the 3DS version isn't great. I think I've probably played more on the 3DS than I have the Vita. But out of the two, I would certainly pick the Vita because, like I said, I think it feels more like a home console version rather than a portable cut down port. So there you go. That is Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed on the 3DS and the PlayStation Vita. Both fantastic versions. In some ways, the 3DS does it better because despite the drastically lower hardware in the 3DS, it really does pull off a good sense of speed, just at maybe the sake of some graphics. And they had to cut some corners somewhere to make sure that the game gave you that full sense of, well, a Sonic racing game. So there you go, 3DS versus PS Vita, and that's Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed.